Hi folks, this is Steve Grono from Chestnut Home Builders. It is March 20th, about 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm at 13880 Deer Run over here in Conway Township. I'm here to inspect a drainage problem and try to determine a course of action for the folks that own it. And I think I got a pretty good handle on it, so I'm going to describe it to you right now. The source of the water coming in comes from two places onto this property. This driveway that I'm standing on belongs to that homeowner. And there is a culvert inlet here somewhere that is buried. That culvert is still seeping a little bit of water coming out on this side, right over here, somewhere discharging over here. Now we think it's probably right there. Yeah, it appears to be coming out right there. The water fills up this pond and then connects to that culvert, and then I'll show you where that goes once we get over there. But you have two sources of incoming water from east to west. Water from the farm field over here coming straight onto the property here. Historically, it flowed to the west onto the neighbor's property. This is the driveway, the shared driveway in front of me. The other source of the incoming water is from this property right here, which is, I don't have the address, but it's immediately south of 13880. So what we had here historically, all of the water that's now backing up onto this property historically flowed this direction to the north. I'm told there was some pipe here at one time, and right into the swale over here, and then it flowed west onto the neighbor's property to the west. Historically, before these folks bought this house, the prior owner ramped this up with stone, as you can see, and blocked the historic flow of water from the south to the north, blocked it, and then put the property on the market and sold it to these folks, apparently. So this is a problem. I believe you're supposed to never interrupt the historic flow of water, but this guy did obviously do that. So this is the second source of incoming water to the property. So between the water coming from the east and the water coming from the south, it all ends up right here. And it's charging all the underground aquifer with high water table. The septic tank on the other side of the house appears to have lifted. There was a sinkhole over here that was flowing water, and the homeowner has a video of that. So I believe the hydrology of this property has been raised. The water table has been raised by the incoming water from both of the directions. This is clearly caused from this guy ramping it up. So let's take it from the point of which both water courses ended up here in this ditch. This is the historic flow. There's a culvert that needs to be replaced. It's 60% blocked. It goes to the west down this swale. This swale needs to be regraded and reset so that it flows. There's a high spot here which is backing water up even further. And what this water does ultimately, this water keeps flowing to the west and ends up right over here. It's off-site. I understand this is the neighbor's driveway now to the west. This property owner lives down here, but here's the ditch. Clearly the water is going here. And here is looks like about a 12-inch old galvanized pipe that's mangled and plugged. But the other side of it appears to be deliberately blocked. Here's where the other side of it would be. And there are stones, asphalt packed in here. There's also a different pipe right here. This is a plastic pipe, which is not flowing, appears to be plugged. So there's no discharge. What's happening here is the water is backing up, raising the hydrology over here on the Hanna's property. And as I understand it, this neighbor has intentionally blocked this for some reason, but the historic flow of the water goes onto this western property and then ends up in this giant wetland over here. So to fix it, this culvert needs to be replaced with an 18-inch culvert, properly set at an elevation where this is the low point from here to the neighboring property to the east. The swale that connects the two culverts is this swale I'm kind of walking now. This swale needs to be regraded all the way through here till you get to the driveway, and That old galvanized pipe sitting there in the fieldstone needs to be replaced, again with an 18-inch here. That needs to be replaced, driveway dug up. And then over on this side, instead of terminating it here, I would recommend that the pipe be extended through this area so that there's pitch on it, downward pitch on it all the way to the low point, and continue that extension off the property through the neighbor's driveway to the other side right here, and put a flared end section right here and some riprap to prevent sedimentation. That's how I would fix it. Pipe the water from here, the neighbor's property, all the way to the other side of the van where the culvert is. Pick that up with a nicely graded swale, then replace the culvert on the neighbor's driveway so there's continuous flow and pitch. And that'll take care of all the water coming from the east. The water coming from the south, the way to fix that and get all this water off the driveway and out of the neighbor's backyard is to reestablish the historic flow of water that was always here. Get all this grade out of here, regrade everything so there's another swale or a pipe that takes the water from that neighbor's property and then on a 45 meets the newly established swale this way. That way both properties to the south and the east will continue to drain that they always have. If you look at the aerial views, that'll probably be confirmed, and it'll solve the problem. And it should bring the hydrology down, I think, for the pressure that's on the septic tank, possibly. So that's it. Hope that was helpful.